I found out about the wedding through my cousin's Instagram story. A glittering hall, my brother smiling, my mother's hand resting proudly on his shoulder. No call, no message, no invitation. When I asked my mother about it, she said it so lightly it almost sounded kind. Sorry, dear. This event is only for the closest people. Closest people. Those words cut deeper than anything I'd heard in years. I didn't argue. I didn't ask why. Instead, I booked a ticket. Somewhere far, somewhere quiet. I told myself it was just a short trip. But deep down, I knew it was a retreat, my quiet exit from their world. Backstory. You'd think the bond between brothers is something unbreakable, built from shared laughter, fights, and late-night secrets. That's how we grew up. I helped him through school, lent him money when he started his first business, even covered his failed investments. He was reckless, but he was my brother. I never judged him for it. Things changed after our father passed away. The inheritance wasn't divided equally. My brother received a bigger share because, as my mother put it, he has a family to support. I was the unmarried one, the independent one, the quiet one. That's what they call self-sufficiency, being left out. Still, I smiled. I visited. I sent gifts, until one day I stopped. Discovery of betrayal. A month before the wedding, I overheard my mother talking to my aunt on the phone. She was laughing, saying people like me never fit in with high society gatherings. Then she mentioned my brother's fiancée and how her family wanted to keep things elegant, simple, selective. That's when it hit me. I hadn't been forgotten. I'd been excluded intentionally. And all I could think about were the nights I stayed up helping him fix his finances, the sacrifices no one ever noticed. They'd always call me logical, cold, detached, mistaking my silence for weakness. So I stayed silent, and I started planning. Shift in mindset. My brother's wedding was meant to be the event of the year. Glamorous, expensive, all funded by credit and borrowed pride. But I knew his financial situation better than anyone. He still owed me money from the business I'd helped him start. Not a single cent repaid. And I still had every document, signed and dated, to prove it. A few people owed me favors, too. So I made some calls, discreet, calm ones, to the caterer, the decorator, the hotel. Every vendor he'd booked with partial payments received notice of his outstanding debt and his frozen accounts. Legally, his assets were locked within 48 hours. The wedding funds, gone. Execution of the plan. I watched the chaos unfold from afar. My cousin sent me confused messages, pictures of the halted venue, whispers about money problems. The fiancé's family withdrew first. They didn't want scandal. Then my mother called. She started softly. There's been a misunderstanding. Then, your brother's under a lot of stress. Finally, we need your help. It was the first time in years I'd heard her say need. I listened without a word, let her finish. When she asked me to transfer money to help pay the debt, I replied calmly, "Sorry, dear. This kind of help is only for the closest people." The silence that followed was heavy, the kind that says everything words can't. Climax. 2 days later, my brother showed up at my apartment. His tie was loose, his face pale, his pride in ruins. "You did this," he said, his voice shaking. "I didn't do anything," I answered. "You just forgot who you owed." He slammed his hand against the table. "It was my wedding," he shouted, "and you didn't think I deserved to be there." I said quietly. He froze, couldn't answer. He just stared, like he was seeing me for the first time. For years, I've been the background figure in their story, the one who always forgave, always stayed. They'd mistaken silence for submission. Now, finally, they were listening. Resolution. The wedding never happened. Her family walked away. My mother stopped calling for a while. My brother moved to another city, trying to rebuild what little dignity he had left. I didn't brag. I didn't post cryptic quotes or seek validation. Revenge doesn't always crave attention. Sometimes it just wants peace. On my trip, I sat by the sea, watching waves fold over themselves. The world was calm, honest, and for the first time, I didn't feel invisible. People think revenge is about destruction. For me, it was about restoration, a balance of respect, of voice. I didn't ruin my brother. I simply made him face the cost of his own deceit. Months later, my mother finally called. Her voice was soft, almost fragile. "I wish you'd been there," she said. I smiled. I replied, "just not where you expected." Some invitations never arrive. Some families only see your worth when they lose what they took for granted. I didn't attend my brother's wedding. I simply witnessed it. From the silence they left me in